I can't believe I'm even answering this question, but let's see, let's find out. Should you text him or her after the first date? Welcome to MBTV. My name is Dan, and today we're going to talk about why you should text her or him or, after the first date and really kind of figure out if that's the best route to go. And it's kind of a convoluted idea when you think about it. It seems basic on the outside because it's just like, all right, yeah, just do it. If you think you should, do it and see where it goes, right? But there's some situations where you may not think that's the case. Something might have happened during the date, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. So it might be awkward to text her at this point. So what I would say is let's find out if you should text her or him or not. One question I would ask myself is, when you were on the date, did you feel like it was natural and fun? Meaning everything kind of like went pretty smoothly and you guys really enjoyed each other's time, and everything felt natural to you, like you didn't feel like you had to force anything. And same for her, she felt relaxed and vulnerable, which is a really key sign. Whether you're a guy or girl, you want to make sure both of you are vulnerable and you're having fun and it just kind of feels natural. And there's a part to you that says, maybe you wouldn't even be worrying and watching this video if it wasn't natural and you didn't feel vulnerable, and maybe you didn't think that there was intimacy with the date. And that could be a reason, why you would hold off. But no, regardless, if you are interested and you felt like there was chemistry there, you should definitely go. So I would ask you that one question. Another idea is like you need to make sure that you feel that you connected to her or him. And you don't want to just continue doing something and you think it's going to go somewhere when it's really not. Be real with yourself and say to yourself, if you really connected and you guys felt that you had that vibe together, you felt like you guys did that dance and you were, there was something playful there, and you felt that you guys were connecting, then that's just text her, just say something funny and then just go with that, because odds are if you feel like you connected, maybe she connected. There's a pretty good chance. So there's only one way to find out. If you like somebody, let me just say this, if you like somebody, just do it, okay? Just text her something funny, text him something funny, see if there's something there. You don't want to just overthink it and then let time go by, because every second that goes by, they may be thinking about you or they may be cooling down as far as how they feel about you. Maybe if you said like, oh yeah, I'll text you like when I get home, just to be safe, or I'll text you to make sure, or whatever, just something that kind of segues you into messaging them. That would be good, because you want it to have value. You want whatever text you send somebody to have value, and part in doing that is every text should mean something. It shouldn't just be like, hey, how are you, what's up, what are you doing, how's the weather, how's work. If you had a connection, or if you want to create a connection with somebody, you don't want to just throw in these questions and these text messages that have no value. It's just going to devalue you. Again, whether you're a guy or a girl, and people are going to get lack of interest because people want to feel like you want to get to know them, right? And that should be true. If you want to connect more, you should be asking more questions about them, more under the surface things along those sorts like that. Instead of asking the weather, ask them, how are you feeling? Something about their past or something about what they enjoy. Ask them their sense of humor. That's a really good one, because if you want to go moving forward, you want to make sure you understand their humor so you can accordingly joke with them and not just joke with them in a way that means more to them, but you want to get a sense of who they are so you can establish that humor and really make that connection if it's going to be there or not. This is a really important one. After the first date, did you escalate, or did you both escalate? Did you both intimately connect somehow? Did you kiss? Did you hold hands? Did you sleep with her? Did you sleep with him? These are all great ideas and green lights to messaging her. I hate to break this to you, but if you went on a date and you slept with her, you should and you see this going somewhere, you gotta establish your value ASAP, because you really shouldn't be hooking up on the first couple of dates. It totally devalues both sides, and it gets really ambiguous and confusing on both sides. Aside from that example, if you kissed her or him or hugged her and him, Just that's a green light to message her. That's a green light not to say good morning. That's a good green light to say and just continue the conversation. But let's be honest, and I'm always gonna emphasize this more so. You need to call and not text. If you want to create value and connect with somebody, you're gonna have to call them. This is like the best way to create value if you're not directly next to them, or video call or a Skype call or something. But you never really want to text to build value. That's like a huge no. Just no. No texting. You should only be texting, if you're a guy, you should only be texting if you really want to see her next, when to see her. I mean, given on the date, you should at the end schedule your next meetup or date. You know, you don't want to wait for text or call because you never know if you're going to get that text or call. So if you connected with her, great. If you want to see her again after you connected somehow, hug, kiss, whatever, make sure you seal the deal at the end of that date and schedule for another date. Did you build value and rapport? Meaning, on the date, did you build value for yourself? Did you believe that you are a good candidate to be with somebody, to be with this person? Do you felt that, this person finds value in you? Do you feel like you really expressed who you are and that they're interested? Do you think that by creating your value and rapport and reputation with this person that they find you interesting and they want to invest more in you? Do you think that they're going to go that route? This is really important because the more value, everything in the beginning of the first dates, if you really like somebody and you think it's going somewhere, you need to maintain that value. And how do you do that? You just kind of express your own individuality, express your own frame, who you are, what your life's about, who you're about, and whatever may come in between. And, if you think that you built rapport, if you think that you established some kind of reputation or connection with this person, it's an obvious green light. Text or call her. Do you see it going somewhere? Do you see this person, whether it's a guy or a girl you're seeing or dating, do you think that there's going to be some kind of long-term implication to having this person in your life? There's no reason to text or call somebody just for the sake of it. You need to remember your motives. You need to remember why you went on this date with this person. Remember why you like them. And is this conducive, or do you think that the more you guys open up together, the more that you see that potential? If you don't, just be open and honest about it. If you're a guy, women love honesty, whether it's bad or good. Just give her the honesty, because it saves you time, saves them time. And as long as you send them a text saying something like, oh, well, you know what, I really liked our date, but I don't think this is gonna, this isn't working for me. But it was really nice meeting you. Good luck, right? Or if you're a girl, same thing. Just state your reason. And I understand on the woman's side, it can be a little bit more tedious because guys can be a little bit more assertive. But really just stand your ground on your view. Remember that every date you should recap the date to some extent and reflect and ask yourself, yeah, I like where this is going. If you don't, then you're wasting your own time. Another idea to really keep in mind is, do you see yourself investing in this person? Now, a lot of people think that they should be investing early in the dating process. You shouldn't, but if you find that you think you should be investing in this person, or you can see yourself investing more time and effort in this person, that's a green light. So yeah, I would text her and call her. See, there's a motive behind that idea. It's like, oh wow, I really like this date. I think she or he was great, and I feel like I can commit more to this. I feel like I want more of this person in my life. And that's something that you want to think about is, your commitment level and how much energy you want to give somebody, because you probably have a busy life. And if you're in the dating scene and you're dating, people and you're seeing where it's going, your time is valuable and your energy is valuable because that energy can be going to different things. So if you can see yourself investing in him or her, then I would say go for it. Text or call her. Another idea to keep in mind is that understand her preference. Does she value if you text or call her? Does she like attention? Does she like communication naturally? Some women, they don't like, or some people, I'll just rephrase it, some people don't like constant communication. Some people, based on their social preference, where if you look this up, called social variance, or different styles of socializing, you'll get an idea of what people value and respect. But pretty much there's three different ways people communicate and socialize. If somebody values communication, then text or call her, or try meeting up again. You know, some people really like that attention for authentic reasons because they need attention, because it's a way that they receive love. Some people find it a nuisance and they don't like being texted all the time and called all the time. You know, but in the beginning process, anyone in this process should understand that building that rapport should be inevitably utilized, and you need to always connect at this point. If you see it going somewhere, you guys should be texting and calling more and starting to build that communication. And some women and men out there really need it, and some men and women really appreciate calls and texts. Not, you know, nothing relationship oriented, but you know, you were thinking about them and you wanted to talk to them and get to know them more. Especially if you don't want to commit yet to dating or going on more dates with them, and you just want to, you know, stick to calling or texting to kind of see if this is, you know, if there's that chemistry. You definitely have to do that. Make sure that they value that kind of, you know, understand what they value as far as communication. This is where most men fail, and most women wish men kept their value. The neediness aspect of texting. Already you should get the idea that you shouldn't be texting to build rapport and to build value. But if you do text, you should, with every sentence or every word, it should be to build value for some idea. If it's not, then don't text. If you're texting because you want to get a validation, then you need to really ask yourself some hard questions going forward. You should never be texting somebody, especially a girl or a guy, if it's out of neediness or lack of appreciation for yourself. And you have to remember that when you message somebody, it's either to get to know them, to build value in the process, to hang out with them and go on another date, or to see them, or none. What other reason would you need? If you need validation and you're a communication person, then yeah, sure, that's fine to an extent. That's what phone calls are for. That's for communicating that to that other person, to tell them, hey, I really value communication. You know, so you know that is what it is. But you don't ever want to text somebody out of neediness. It's just, it devalues you, whether you're a guy or a girl, and it just shows that you're just too available. And along with the idea of texting out of neediness comes this idea of just being way too available, and you want the other person to kind of fight for your time and fight for that investment and that commitment, because that's how it should be. You know, you don't just go open arms into something without really understanding if that's something you want. You want to make sure that is something you want. So don't be needy. Don't text her. I hope this answered your guys' questions or ideas on if you should text him or her. I really hope you appreciated this video, and I hope I answered, you know, most of the questions you may be asking on, you know, whether or not you should text her. I did go into a little bit of detail in this video, so I hope you liked it. So if you have any comments, drop them down below, and subscribe to our channel. There's going to be a link somewhere to check out more dating advice videos. A lot of good content on the way. If you like our content and you're new to the channel, please, we have dating, relationship, psychology, personal development, all kinds of different videos for you to check out. And if you really like our content even more so, we do have a Patreon, so we have a link somewhere down below. Patreon is just a reward system that, you know, for donating to us and really supporting our content, we have a different way of giving back and giving back to you. So definitely check out our Patreon page and look at that. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next time. Getting over her. We're going to go into understanding key ideas going forward with your breakup process or getting over your ex, things that you should just know, accepting the reality of where you are now, where this place you are is, and what that means to you, and how you can ultimately get out of it. Because if it's a negative experience, if it's a negative energy, it's not good. And we're going to take a look at the different areas of how this really